Hi Scorpio, I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. We're going to be doing a he said, she said spread for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If these messages don't resonate, if you're checking for your sun sign, definitely check for your rising, moon, and Venus. Your moon is your emotions. Your rising sign is your personality and how the world perceives you, how you perceive the world. Venus is how we do love connections and how we view money. So they're all very important when we're dealing with relationship spreads too, right? So let's pull your crowning from the Black Moon Tower, part of fortune. I really like this for you, Scorpio. This is really, really good. Okay, because when this turns up in a reading, it means a time where things are just going to be flowing more easily and you're going to have greater success. And because this is a he said, she said spread, I get with this connection now for good, bad, or indifferent. Right? Because the thing is that the success and how it comes about and how long it'll take is very much going to depend on the surrounding cards. So let's see what comes out in the spread. But you're going to want to take advantage of this time, the energy right now, to resolve conflicts. It's time to heal that toxic situation that's been so difficult to overcome. So much support here to do that. You know, and this definitely indicates this is a fated relationship. So it's meant for both of you to help fulfill each other's callings. This is not going to be a relationship that you could ever move away from easily. You know, because destiny is involved here. So together, the two of you are called to achieve and master higher things that would be more difficult had you not met each other. So there's this synchronicity and there's a symbiotic kind of relationship. You guys are partnered. Really, it's like a very partnered feeling I get here. Now, in this, though, there are going to be challenges, even though the love is here. And and I feel like regardless of what the spread says, the love will always remain, for sure. But I am getting there is a strong desire to fly at the moment, right? Any like shackles that you have been feeling, you know, are going to be broken down and you're just going to be feeling this release, Scorpio, just this release. This is about moving ahead. This is all about moving ahead in a positive way. So I really like that for you guys. What a cool card to get for a he said, she said spread. So let's get right into this. I'm going to pull some cards for you guys. Give me a little information about where you guys are at right now. Then I'll sweep that and we'll see what's happening with your person right now. And then we'll look at some fears and some outcome energies. Okay, any messages here for Scorpio? What's going on with Scorpio? You know, and sometimes these messages, guys, really should be just treated as like seeds of thought, you know? Seeds of thought. You're just not even wanting to defend yourself anymore. You're just very tired, Scorpio. You're doing good. All right. We got a little bit of everything here, Scorpio. So Seven of Wands reverse is you're just not willing to defend yourself anymore. You're just not. You're like over it. You feel like there are things going on that you're in a space of feeling like, does it even matter what I say anymore at this point? You know, and that's a very frustrating space to be in. Yeah, but you really don't know what that means. You don't know where you're going because the Four of Swords reverse is that you're taking the time out to think about where you're going and you can't see your future in a very solid way right now. This could also mean you not wanting to think about your future. You're trying to like drown it out. Now, I'm saying this because we do have the devil energy next to it, which could have to do with any sort of addictions. Now, when I say addictions, the devil energy is anything negative. So, you know, you might be partying too much. Doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. You might be just on a crazy spending spree. It doesn't mean you have an addiction to spending money, but it can mean that. But you might be trying to self-medicate in various ways that are probably not the best. But at the very least, this does indicate low vibrational thinking. And in the upright, I'm getting that you're in a little bit of a dark space right now. And that makes sense because when we're here with the Seven of Wands, it's like this, I just, you know, who even gives a shit anymore? Like at this point, it's just like, what's the point to even having the argument? And there's a sadness and a frustration in that, and a not wanting to deal in that. That's just, as humans, we go through that. So if this is you, if you're resonating with this, just forgive yourself. I just feel like you're doing it because you feel like you're very unsupported in this connection. And this could have to do with money, where you feel like you're in a situation with this person where either they're not making enough money, you're not making enough money, and they're making you feel bad about it. It could certainly be that. Or this is just you not feeling like you're having that connection, in the relationship that you want. So this can cover communication. This can cover your intimate life. How you guys work your sex life. How you guys communicate throughout the day. Do they have your back? Do you have their back? Do you feel supported in the path that you're walking on? Are they supportive of your career? I'm getting, according to this, that you do not. You do not feel like you're getting the support that you really very much feel that you need in this relationship. And you're just all about seeking victory right now, Scorpio. You're just like, there's no point in talking to this person. I need to move forward. I'm not even sure where I'm going. I just really want to have victory. I want to be in a space where I feel good about myself. I want to be in a space where I feel like people are respecting me. And this can definitely feed into the devil energy, where the only reason I'm mentioning that is because you just want to be careful if you are going out to party to, maybe increase your ego, have your ego stroked a little bit. Nothing wrong with that, okay? That's not a negative. You just want to be very careful. I feel like there's this very strong desire in you to move your life forward, to have this victory, to feel good about yourself, to be around people who make you feel good about yourself, but you're very conflicted. Like on the external, I feel like that's what you're doing. Maybe you're buying some new clothes, you're looking to update your look, you're going out having a couple cocktails with your friends, you're trying to work things out, you're trying to do you the best you can. This is like a coping kind of thing, just dealing with the reality of the situation, but you're definitely having an internal conflict. There is still an internal conflict here, and I just want you to notice like how we have, it's a positive card, a not so positive card, a positive card, a not so positive card. So there is definitely this kind of like, woo, of emotions, which is very common. You guys are water signs. And this also might be because this is just mad confusing for you. I feel like this is not your first rodeo with this person. There has been a lot of back and forth, but you're feeling like you just so badly want to get in touch with your strength right now. And you're holding on to the little things to make that happen. You're really finding ways, which I like about this. You're finding ways to make yourself feel better. But I do have to go back to the devil saying, be careful, just be careful of what you're doing. But I feel like you guys are definitely in a space where you're like, you know what, like, I did, what happened. I can't work things out right now with this person. This person is not going to be, my Nine of Cups, which is all about attaining through hard work. And there's this sense that you're not going to be attaining with this person. But in the reverse, this tells me that you're going to be very focused on filling your own cup, on trying to bring yourself to a space where you feel like everything's progressing forward in a much better way. You're working very hard to clear the fog, to clear anything like the residue of anything. But the thing is, Scorpio, I do feel like you're still very much in this energy. You are. I mean, you just are. You're feeling this lack. You're having this internal conflict, and you're not exactly sure where you're going. But you're trying really hard to just pull yourself out of it, I feel, which, what is great. It's great, but this person is very heavily in your energy field, and you're trying to what kind of energy I get? Like, it's like that cheesy saying, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade kind of thing. That's what I feel like you're doing right now. Like, you're just not willing to lay down in bed and not get out. You're not willing to do that. You're really about right now wanting to make yourself feel as good as you can in the situation, knowing that you can only control yourself. You can't control anybody else in this situation. And I'm just feeling like there were a lot of arguments that kind of led up to that. And you're in the space of like, seriously, like, what's the point? I just can't do the fighting anymore. So let's see what's happening with them. Hierophant. So they're really trying to figure out their beliefs and their wishes. And yeah. So they're feeling very disrespected and feeling like they're in a space where it's a weird kind of disrespect, though. Like the Six of Wands energy. Because the Six of Wands upright is about victory. So I feel like they're in a weird space of feeling like they can have victory with you in this situation. And they do feel like that in some way their feelings are not being considered. And before anybody comes after me, I just want you to remember that these he said, she said spreads are meant to tap into the energy of both of you. And it's probably all too common, right? Where we're in relationships with our own set of eyes, looking at the same exact thing, walking away with two different interpretations of what we just experienced, right? So keep that in mind, because you may feel like you did nothing at all to disrespect them. They might be playing mind games with themselves. Let's see what's going on here. So we have this Nine of Cups energy. They're very focused on, they really want to focus on attaining their goals, and they really want to focus on their moral compass, their moral code, what they believe to be right. Maybe some of you are dealing with the Sagittarius, I don't know, but we have, certainly can be a fellow water sign. Well, we have everybody's here, but, the Hierophant is about going along with, or even challenging the norms of society. I feel like they're really thinking about the way they've been framing this relationship in their own minds and what they believe relationship should even be. What should it even look like? I feel like you're involved with a person who's gone through a lot of changes themselves. I feel like they're in a space of trying to figure out their own stuff as well. Because the Hierophant is a very internal, important energy, because it has to do with, our faith system, things we believe in the deepest recesses of our soul. And the Nine of Cups is about just really focusing on goals, right? Because they feel like disrespected in the relationship with you, and that they're not going to be able to have victory. But it's certainly not that they don't want it. They want it. They want the Seven of Pentacles energy, which the 7 is a beautiful number. It's 4 plus 3. It's the Trinity plus Earth plus the world, right? So it's about building this next chapter, and they want to have this new start with you. And we have the Four of Cups reverse. So they're in a space of feeling very disappointed and disillusioned about where the relationship was going. But I'm going to tell you something about this card, because those of you who've been watching me know my spiel with the Four of Cups. It's the checklist card. It's, if they don't do A, B, and C, I'm not going to be able to stay in this, right? And it's this, it's coming to that idea because of the hurt and the disillusionment. But the thing is, I feel like they're still carrying some hurt from their own past as well. And they're throwing that on top. They're kind of wallpapering their feelings regarding your relationship, as, in addition to like kind of covering over any old hurts that they never addressed. And this is a very internal energy. It's very mental for them. But them feeling like there are things about you and about the relationship that they find to be not workable, or not something that they want to go the long haul with. And there is this sense, this King of Swords is to me them not being entirely honest with themselves, Scorpio. So the King of Swords upright is about, come on, let's speak the truth. Let's sit down and have that conversation. It's all about words and framing reality and truth. And this is them not wanting to look at that. So I do feel like with the Four of Cups reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed, I feel like they're in this space of trying to put the majority of the blame on you at this point for anything that's going on in the relationship. And they're not very much looking at themselves. They're just not. They're moving away from this, what they believe to be a toxic situation, at least temporarily. This is a minor arcana. This is not a long-lived energy. This could be them just making a mental break for a minute. So you guys could be not in communication right now, as you believe that you guys are not 100% together right now. It's normally the he said, she said could be that situation. Or you could even be in a relationship, but you're just in a weird space and you're not communicating well. And there's this emotional distance, at least mental distance. And then we have the Justice card. This person you're dealing with, between the Justice and the Hierophant, they are all about wanting truth. They want truth. They feel like they have not been treated fairly, right? With the Six of Wands reverse, they feel like you are not completely looking at yourself. But I want to tell you what the cards are telling me. The cards are telling me that they're not being 100% honest with themselves. But they don't feel like you're being honest with yourself. And you're not admitting to things that you should be admitting to. And they feel in that way it's not fair and they want justice. But in order for justice to be had, they're going to have to look a little deeper inside of themselves and really think about, because they're not going deep here, Scorpio. They're not, and they need to. This Knight of Swords tells me that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's where it's at now. Let's look at your fears. Let's look at scary parts that are getting in the way. There was a lot of fears with these types of situations, right? Because you never know how it could go. Sometimes we're scared to get back with the person. We're scared that things are going to end up the same way. That we're not going to have the growth and change. Because it really is very hard to sweep the decks clean, you know, and start totally over. It really is. It's not impossible at all, but everybody's got to be on the same page. So let's see your fears. Yeah, you're... Scorpio. Okay. Let me just pull the cards and then we'll talk. The damn devil energy again. Come on now. Oh, the death. Okay. So you're feeling this very deeply. Okay, let's just say that for start. So the Chariot reverse is, these are your fears. Okay, your fear right now is that this is not the right thing to be on this break. You don't feel that. I feel like whatever current situation you're in right now, whatever path you're on in this situation, you feel like it is the wrong path. In your heart of hearts, you feel like, because the Chariot reverse, you want to think about that car on a country road, loses control of the steering wheel and ends up lost in the forest. And this is, I'm afraid that you're fearing ending up on the wrong path. You're afraid of you not making the right choices. You're afraid to try to defend yourself with the Seven of Wands energy because you feel like there's no point to it. You have this fear. If you try to state your case, you're fearing that you're not going to be heard. You know, you're fearing this, that you're not going to be heard, that the Six of Pentacles in reverse, that you're not going to get the support that you need. That you're not going to get what you need from this. And you're actually a little afraid of this devil energy here. You're afraid of the shadow sides of your personalities coming out. You're afraid of the shadow side of your personality. You're having this high level of discomfort having to do with your coping mechanisms right now and their coping mechanisms. I do feel like I'm getting very much a dual type of vibe here where you don't like what they're doing either. As far as their coping mechanisms, as far as their low vibrational thinking or sort of any sort of addictions, any sort of just irresponsible behaviors, this is scaring you. Like that issue being present is scaring you. You don't like how, okay, for many of you, Scorpio, I feel like you really don't like the version of yourself that you turn into in this relationship. And that happens. Listen, challenging relationships can change people. They can. There's been so many studies. There are so many studies available to support this. And I just feel like for many of you, I'm definitely getting that, which I don't often get, but that's coming through very strong. Yeah. The wheel reverse. You're afraid it's not going to happen. This is the wheel of fate. You're just afraid that you're not going to have that ultimate fulfillment with them. You're not going to be able to build. But at the same time, you're very afraid of the cycle being over. This is you. Scorpio, it's like in a way you're afraid of yourself. In a weird way. But this can be a bunch of things. This could be, the way you cope with things. You're afraid of how accepting you are. You're afraid of forgiving them again. You're afraid of ending up in that space again. I do get that. But you're afraid not only of the ending, but you're afraid of building, because the death card is equally a new beginning as it is an ending. And it's this transformation, but I feel like you're feeling very, very trepidatious about the ability for this next phase to be successful in the way that your deepest soul needs. I feel so much sensitivity here from you, Scorpio, regarding this. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's happening with them and their fears. And then we'll pull some advice. Very deep energy, but I keep looking at the part of fortune. It's the Fortunata card. It is a very positive card. You just are surrounded by so much beautiful energy. Really, honestly. I don't know if you guys checked out the video I did where Venus is hit, the house that Venus is hitting you with Mercury retrograde and Jupiter. There's a lot of good energy here. And let's see what they're afraid of, is not having that ultimate celebration. They don't want to argue with you, man. They don't want to argue with you. So fears, 3 of Cups, celebratory energy. This is like a uniting celebration. Let's have a party kind of thing. In the upright, it's positive. But they're fearing that they're not going to be able to have this with you. And again, with the 9 of Cups, it's just all over this reading. In the different decks I'm using, it doesn't matter. The 9 of Cups is about this, having your dreams come true, right? That wish fulfillment. This is that they're fearing that they're not going to have this fulfillment with you. Scorpio, they really love you. Look, they want to have this new start with you. They're so scared that it's not going to happen, and it has a lot to do with the 3 of Swords reverse energy, which is more positive than in the upright, by the way. 3 of Swords is about pain and heartbreak. This can definitely be a third-party situation, but it doesn't have to be. And this could be any kind of external situation to your relationship that could get in the way. And this could very easily be like just friends and family who don't know how to mind their business, and they end up creating a lot of issues in the relationship where maybe your partner ends up siding with their family, or they feel like you're siding with your family, and it creates trust issues and feelings of betrayal within the connection. Same thing can go for friends. This could be maybe the loss of a business. This could be just this huge heartache and heartbreak that's inflecting the relationship. In the reverse, it indicates that there's validation coming out, though, and that like everything is being laid on the table. Now, they're afraid of that. So, Scorpio, I don't know, were you dealing with somebody who did something maybe a little left of center, not so great, and they would be very afraid to actually put it all out there and look at it? I mean, because this is indicated here with the 3 of Swords reverse, right? So the Lovers reverse means the shadow sides of your personality coming out as you guys try to work through things. But it becomes quite nasty with the Lovers in reverse, and this is what they're fearing. So I feel like they're definitely fearing this fighting. They're feeling this. They're fearing this fighting. But then we have the 8 of Wands. Now, the 8 of Wands is I like the 8 of Wands because there's recognition that you guys have been through a lot. They have like the bruises and the blood and the receipts to show, right? What's gone on. But there's still fight left here. But in the feared position, I feel like they're afraid. They very much want to move forward. They really do. But they're afraid to. They still have fight left in them for this situation. They are by no means done. That I could tell you absolutely. Absolutely. But they're afraid that they're not going to be able to build with you. And they're afraid of taking a chance. The Fool is all about taking a leap of faith, taking blind faith. Calculated risk. And they're afraid to. They're afraid of not having this beautiful energy with you, but like the 3 of Swords. Can I just pull a couple of cards on there, please? Queen of Wands. Huh? It's time to tell the truth. Okay, whoever you are dealing with, they are afraid to tell the truth about something they did that was not cool. Because the Ace of Swords reverse is about a lie. Okay, so some sort, and that could be lying through omission. That could just be shady behavior. It doesn't necessarily mean anything more than that, but it's them acting not in the best way and them knowing they have to own this in order for things to work out, Scorpio. They are scared to come forth with that. That's what I'm getting. Yep. All right. Okay, let's get some advice for you guys. Let's get some advice. Where is this going? What does Scorpio need to do? Okay. You have a lot to talk about here. If you guys are going to make this work, you have to talk about how are you going to turn all of these upright, because we can always do that in tarot. You guys need to understand that if you're going to use tarot as a tool. Reversals are not negative. They're the areas that you need to work on. So you guys need to work on fairness. You need to sit down and have a real conversation about how you guys are going to end up moving your life forward in a practical way. This is to do with money. Where are you going to live? What are you going to do? This is you guys resolving to fix this, to make that decision, to be committed to the relationship. This Two of Pentacles energy. And this is about you guys figuring out this Ace of Cups and turning it upside down. This is about giving each other what you need in the most loving way to make this happen. So the advice here is this is what you need to work on. The practical everyday things. You need to open up your heart, be super honest and very fair. There's got to be a sense of fairness and a sense of commitment here. 3 yes, no cards. I'm not honoring reversals. Looking at your shadow sides, figuring out what you each need. Yeah, telling the truth. This is what's up. This is what's up. You guys are going to be looking at where you guys have been just negative for each other. What's necessary to move forward, and you're going to be doing it in a very honest way. Finally, yes, no card. I'm not honoring reversals. Will Scorpio work this out with their person as a result of this Mercury retrograde with the help of Venus and Jupiter? King of Cups. Can't get much more positive than that. And he said, she said spread. Yes, this is very, very destined. Yes, this is good stuff, Scorpio. Thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Until then, bye-bye.